Hi Scorpio, this is your September 2019 reading. Scorpio, as I spoke about it in detail in the part 1 of the video, the month of September is the month of giving birth to the things that we have been working on over the course of last couple of months, even starting from January 2019, because multiple cycles are coming to conclusion over the course of September and early part of the October. This is especially true for you in the area of manifestation of your larger vision. This is you sharing your ideas, your visions, your talents with a broader set of audience, either through an online platform or through the teams that you're working with, or you creating a social influence of some sort by launching something and going all out into it. And this is something that you might have been refining, you might have been working on for a long time, and now you get the energy to go out and work on it in a detailed fashion with a lot of passion in it and launch a new structure of nature which requires you to write, to speak, to publish, to share your ideas with a larger set of people. We are addressing a collective need here through you catering to them, through you putting in all you have got and sort of nurturing this in a very practical fashion. You might be refining your dreams. You might be refining some work of art that you are publishing to a larger set of audience. You're creating a new vision of your life here by doing that. You're creating a new vision not just for you, but a new vision for the collective. Because what you might be creating here could be of larger influence to a lot of people. It could be healing them, it could be helping them in a practical manner, it could be a medical field item that you're sort of knowledge of medical sorts or healing sorts that you are launching to a set of people, which will help them in practical fashion. You're providing a service or healing to many, which will be your vision and will become your vision for a longer period of time. And this is practical, it is efficient, it is possibly very, very skilled and specific in nature. This could be you working in details on a goal that you have sort of set for yourself, and some sort of detox is engaged here. You're purifying either the minds of the people who you're dealing with, or you're purifying your own work of art to provide a pristine output to the people who you're working with. Your plan and vision has got a higher thought attached to it, has an element of invention, futuristic perspective attached to it as well. It could be a little bit ahead of time, or it could be different in nature. It could be different from what you have done before, because we have Uranus, the planet of innovation, the planet of excitement, the planet that vibrates through our psyche and brings out certain hidden things within ourselves out in the surface, making a positive aspect with this new goal, this new aspiration, this new dream that you're working on. Uranus is trying to reinvent the way you connect with people. Do you connect with them in a high tech fashion, through very progressive ideas, through means that you have not used before, using the skill set and the ideas that you have not seen before? Because Uranus wants to shift how you interact with your one on one partners. It wants to redefine your contracts. It wants you to discover an unconventional way of connecting with people and showing your talents to them. And in turn, you are changing as well. You are freeing a part of you that seeks independence, that wants you to have more freedom in the way you do your work, in the way you are in relationships and in partnerships. Your relationships and partnerships will be reinvented as a result of this as well. There is more openness, more honesty, more space, more freedom in how you connect with your one on one partners. And it wants you to have your own identity away from being in shackles with any job, any personality, any partner, even. It wants your soul to have its own space to grow, to explore, to experience what it came here to experience. So there could be certain problems in the contracts that you might have felt exist. There might have been restlessness if your work contracts or even your long-term partnerships have any kind of restriction in them, which restricts your creativity, which restricts your freedom. If any of those elements were there and they were causing restlessness within yourself, causing you to want to break free, the season of Virgo, the Earth season, gives a very productive channel to have an outlet to that restlessness in a very brilliant fashion. So something productive comes out of it. So a productive solution comes out of it. So a new vision of your life comes out from it. Because sometimes we have a dream that we want to do something which is very futuristic, which is away from how we have done things before, and we want to sort of escape from the mundane as a result of that. But how do we incorporate that into practical life, into our aspirations, into our dreams of creating big value, big wealth, big material resources, big presence, big influence in the world? How do we create that and merge these two parts of our own psyche? That is the outlet that is given during the season of Virgo to us, because Uranus is making a positive aspect with this new star. So we will be discovering innovative ways to connect with unique people. And you might have already been doing that. But now in Earth season, we find a long lasting, stable way of doing that in an open and honest fashion that gives a more productive outlet to this unconventional feeling within ourselves to create a structure that did not exist before. And it has, as I said, a usefulness attached to it. Usefulness of a nature that can help people through health, through healing, through psychologically helping people. It could be of a nature which is very detailed. Maybe you're working on a very detailed work that now you're launching to a set of people, and it will be a great service to the people who you're launching to. It could even be a product. It could be a publication. It could be a thing that you have researched on extensively. And that creates a completely different influence, a completely different hold that you have on people. And these become your tribe. It is the start of you finding your space in the universe, you finding your place in the universe with a set of people who are like-minded, who think like you, who have innovative ideas like you, who support you in these innovative ideas. It could be your friends, it could be your fan group, it could be a set of people who you connect with on internet, it could be your fan base, it could be your sibling. It could be your business network person who helps you and supports you and takes you forward. So the key to success in Virgo season for you is to share your life with others. Share your ideas. Connect with people more. Be out and about. Be out and about with your friends, with your siblings, with your friendship connections. Or be present more online with people. Connect with people over unconventional ideas, over unconventional ways of thinking, over the futuristic goals and ideas that you have in your mind. And there is a lot of energy supporting you to go ahead with that in the first half of the month. This is especially true if you have planets around 7 to, I would say, around 11 or 12 degrees of Scorpio. You specifically have this energy to do this in the first half of the month. And this extends further 2 degrees all the way till 21 degree because Saturn and Pluto kicks in from around 5th or 6th of September as well. So we are talking about a large set of you being positively influenced by this aspect. At the start of the month, around 30th of October born would be strongly influenced. And it will extend all the way at the start of the month to around 2nd or 3rd of November born. But then around 5th or 6th of September, around 6th of November born, all the way till 11th or 12th of November born, start feeling the strong discipline that is coming within ourselves and the support of this aspiration we have of our dreams. We start receiving the support that might have been held for a very long time, and this is not a small support, this is a structural support that is coming for your aspirations, for your dreams. Because Saturn, the planet of structure, is finally going direct around 18th of September, and you start feeling that it's going direct right from the 5th or 6th of September when Sun and Saturn are making a positive aspect. This is you receiving some first messages of support, that things are about to turn around, that things are about to go in the direction that you have been waiting for them to go over the course of last couple of months. You might have been waiting for over 4.5 months to change the very structure of your life in some meaningful ways, which involves you to publish something, which involves you to write something, which involves you to restructure the way you communicate with your surroundings, which requires you to restructure your commercial identity as a person. Because Saturn is in your house of communication along with South Node and Pluto, in your house of communication, in your house of exploration, interaction. So this once in 30 years visit of Saturn in your house of communication is to refine your mind and your external and internal talk. It's here to change the way we think. It's here to change our thinking as well as the way we communicate our thinking to our surrounding. How do we structure our thoughts and our talk when we are communicating ourselves? It is here to help us work very hard and diligently on a skill set that will serve us well in a longer period of time, commercially as well as mentally. It is enlightening our mind, our soul, as well as our external reality by keeping us on the go with it, because this is a busy house. This is a house that has kept you possibly busy throughout the year, because Saturn was supposed to visit this since the eclipse of January 2019, when you possibly initiated a process of writing something, wanting to publish something, wanting to market something, wanting to start a new commercial reality. But things were not just getting off the ground. Things were not just going ahead. And now with Saturn going direct on 18th of September, which you'll start feeling when it stands still from 6th of September, now we are about to see the external manifestation of this new structure of our life. This new way of selling things, new way of communication, new way of thinking. Success in communication matters. Success in publication matters. Success in being able to hold our own in conversations and getting our point across. Because when we have Saturn, Pluto, and South Node in a house of communication, this is an aspect of influencers. This is an aspect of people who have changed the world with their words and their thoughts, like Martin Luther King. So there's a lot of power in your thought and your words, but the external commercial manifestation of that, or physical manifestation of that, could have been held up for some time, because there was something within ourselves that was required to be changed before the external reality changes. Because if I may say, to unleash your thoughts, to unleash your influence on the rest of the world, the higher powers, before they allow you to do that, they want you to restructure something within yourself. And the last 4.5 months would have been a very strong process of restructuring your inner mind, your internal judgment, your feeling that comes from within ourselves when we are in an environment that may not feel so friendly. How do we react to that? How do we react to the fears within ourselves? How do we react to apprehensions within ourselves? Do we curb our self-expression in face of criticism? in face of opposition? Do we stop the discovery? Do we stop the innovation? Do we block our own self-expression for the fear of judgment from external parties? That rewiring, which is very much required to be done for anybody who's about to influence the world, those toughening up of your own mind, the toughening up of your own inner environment that is required, that was the purpose of the last 4.5 months of retrogression of Saturn and Pluto in your house of mind, in your house of communication, in your house of thinking, restructuring and releasing the fears, taking certain tough decisions within yourself, making a Teflon sort of a thing within our soul to be able to take more, to have more courage to take more, to not let the fear undermine our own thought processes, undermine our own dreams, undermine our own passions. It wants us to firm up our mind to pursue what we truly want for a longer period of time. So there have been tests. There have been tests of persistence around it, which now we are coming to an end to. And now this refined mind or a refined way of thinking or communicating or creating a new commercial reality or this new skill set that you have worked so hard on, now in this new aspiration or goal of your life that you're putting forward, or this launch that you're doing this month, to launch a new aspiration, to launch a new dream, to launch a new platform of you speaking to people at a larger scale, now that comes into implementation. And the next couple of months, all the way till December 26th, we will see this new framework of you sharing your ideas at a larger scale, influencing people at a larger scale. We'll see the structure of that being launched from now all the way till the solar eclipse that is happening in the house of communication on 26th of December, which comes with a positive aspect of Jupiter. So it is expansive, it is beneficial, it causes, if I may say, a major mass impact on people. So from now till December, you'll find yourself putting down the framework, seeing the manifestation, seeing the support, as well as to some extent the challenges that come with anything new, showing up from now till December, till you launch this, till you become this new mindset, till you start living this new reality that you're creating for yourself. Along with this, the third thing that is happening this month, in parallel to this, is that we have Jupiter and Neptune meeting each other for the last time in their birthing process towards the end of this month. Around 21st of September, Jupiter and Neptune are making their last and third contact this year. They have met already twice this year. This is their third and last meeting in a square aspect for the next decade. The aim of these two planets meeting each other in a square aspect was to dissolve an old ideology and create a completely new mindset for you, which involves you to earn money in a different fashion. Because Jupiter is sitting in your house of resources. I spoke about it in detail in how to manifest your Jupiter very well over the course of next 3 months till it is in your house of resources, what kind of projects you can take on, what kind of things you can get involved in, what kind of skill sets you can develop to make sure that you get your requisite worth, that you get your requisite value out of your skill set in a separate video. I'll link it up over here. Otherwise, you can just look at the Jupiter transit through second house for Scorpio video, which I published last month. This month, we will see the final meeting of us dissolving an old way of doing things and deciding to take a path, deciding to choose the skill set which will yield self-worth and net worth for us. And it's not going to come through an easy exercise because there's a mental conflict in our ability to pursue that. And this is not a new mental conflict. This is something that we have worked on back and forth over the course of last 9 months. But now the result of that, this is the birthing process of it. This is decision of it. Neptune is sitting in a house of creativity. It has been enhancing our ability to see through things that we did not see before creatively. We are able to get a creative high because of Neptune being there, and it has been there since last couple of years now. But this year it met with Jupiter, which means that we gained more insight, more knowledge, as well as benefits out of this creativity, this creative high that we might have been feeling within ourselves for the last couple of years. Neptune is also aiming to dissolve some of our boundaries so we can take more risk in our life, so we can shift our life direction to earn money in a different fashion, to dig at resources that we earlier did not dig into, our intrinsic skill sets that we sometimes don't value enough. Neptune has been trying to give us the eyes we did not have before to have an insight into our own talents. And meeting Jupiter, we were trying to figure out how do we match this creative high with creating value out of our skill set? How do we materially manifest money, resources, abundance through the creative high that we have? And this has been back and forth process of last couple of months, all the way starting from January. Because these two planets meeting together, they dissolve our old mentality of how money is supposed to be made. The square prompts us to correct our own mindset about things. It corrects our own mindset about what is money, what is value, what kind of things do we attach value to. And now this month, this T square that is forming between Jupiter, this Virgo season, and Neptune, this is a mental conflict which will come across around 5th or 6th of September. You'll face that around 5th to 7th of September as a mental conflict within yourself, because there is a decision to be made here. And this decision has come before as well. But now we are standing at the threshold of a final decision to decide which side of the conflict do we sit on. And what is the conflict about? The first conflict is, how do I derive value out of the creative high that I'm feeling? How do I create expansion of my resources by the creative ways, by taking more risk in my life through speculative trades, through a creative venture? How do I create value out of it? The second question or the conflict in our mind is, how do I create social acceptance of my skill sets that I feel are very valuable, but they are so unique in nature, I am not sure that I'll have a widespread acceptance of that skill set. These are the two conflicts within ourselves which this aspect will raise once more time, but only to conclude either ways. The depositor of this, the final decision of this conflict, sits in the hand of Jupiter, which is expansion of your resources, expansion of your money, expansion of your skill set through spiritual means, through means of publication, through means of knowledge, through means of educating people. I spoke about it again in detail in the Jupiter video, which you should definitely look at, because it will help you decide what skill sets you should pursue. But that is what Virgo season does very well. It gives us a detachment in our mind to be able to make a decision like that, because Virgo season is a very objective season, and Mercury, our mind, in Virgo season is at its analytical best. So we are very well placed to go into details of how do we make this happen. Will it serve me right? Is it getting me to where I want to go? But Jupiter is guiding us to have faith in future, because sometimes we do not have all information. Sometimes when Jupiter and Neptune make a square, they are trying to teach us to have a faith on the future. Because you have to realize at some point that we will never know everything. We will never know how this future skill set will pan out. So faith is required, and your faith is a very good guide here as well. apart from your practical mind. And Virgo season sits on the polarity of practical mind and your faith. So in the first half of the month, this new moon in Virgo, which will sort of prevail in the first half of the month. Practical thinking is what is active, and it is telling you things. You're finding out more information. You're figuring it out, and it's fine to have a bit of a confusion when you're trying to figure things out. So on 7th of September, you can feel a little bit confused because there will be information that you did not see before that will be coming in front of you. Then again on 10th of September, when Sun is meeting Neptune, again a further piece of information can come in front of you that you did not see before. This mental conflict, this back and forth, is specifically happening between 14 to 17 degree of Scorpio. So if you have planets between 14 to 17 degree of Scorpio, or if you're born between 6th to 9th of November, you might find yourself standing on your threshold, specifically 9th of November born. And most of you will feel this. But the 10th of September opposition of Sun and Neptune is a breakthrough moment. It is a moment when we might feel that we need to compromise something, because in Virgo season, we have to see both sides of things and decide to find a middle path in some ways, which works for us in long way. But with this opposition of Sun and Neptune on 10th of September, there is a disintegration of an old form. Maybe the way we are using our creative venture needs to be changed. Maybe this aspiration and goal that we're launching this month, it needs to incorporate your creativity. So a middle path between your aspiration, your desire to create big social influence, to go big, to gain major acceptance at a larger scale of your creative venture, and the other side of it, which is asking you to stick to your creativity, to stick to your way of things, you might need to find a mid path of it, and the mid path is Jupiter. Create a framework of creating value out of your talents in a practical fashion in this season, and you might need to find a mid path of being very unique in your outlook and your ability to influence at a larger scale. And you'll find that decision, that back and forth, this confusion being there around 10th of September. This is a natural cycle. This is a natural cycle of dissolution and resolution of our ever evolving reality. But for you, this is a positive aspect with you. So it adds to you. It adds to what you're creating. It adds to your value. It adds to who you're becoming, and the solution to it might be that I need to invest further in my skill set and I need to do more. The solution to it could be, and a Jupiter solution is an expansive solution, so solution could be I need to find another way of making money out of this. Solution could be I need to find a new source of income within this creativity, to find a middle path between the practicality and the spirituality, and find a way to make money out of it. And you will gain knowledge out of that, because Jupiter is direct now. From now till December, you will find a way to create value out of your creative instincts by finding a middle path between this creative high and the practical aspirations you have. So 10th of September is sort of that moment in my view, and you will feel that all the way till 13th or 14th of September, and it can make us feel a little bit physically weak, if I may say. Because sometimes we need our external energy to dial down a little bit, to hear our own thinking a bit louder. So don't engage in a lot of Martian activities, because we are a Mars dominant sign. I'm a Scorpio rising myself, so don't engage in a lot of physical activity between 11th to 13th or 14th of September. You'll not feel up to it, because it's the time after massive action, physical action of the first 10 days, when we need to take mental action of decision. And that decision will pan out and show up with the full moon that is happening on 14th of September in your house of creativity, where a decision on your creative venture, when a decision on your ability to take risk on your creative talents comes to life, or a creative venture comes to a final shape over the course of next 14 days starting from 14th of September. Something is given birth to after you have seen both sides of things in the first 2 weeks of the month, and that will be the theme for the second half of the month. The second half of the month is dedicated to figuring out, okay, what's the decision? How do I go about? What kind of risk can I take? Also, your children and passions will come into focus. Your children that you have, or somebody who you have as your child. It could be a business who is like a child. It could be someone who you love passionately. And they could come into focus over the course of last 2 weeks of the month. And that is especially true if you have planets around 21 degree. 21 degree of Scorpio, which is around 12th or 13th of November born, 2 or 3 degrees before, 2 or 3 days before 12th or 13th of November, and 21 degree of Scorpio will find this as a boost. This is a boost. This is a water energy. This is an instinctual energy of knowing what to do, what kind of risk to take in life. This is you having a knowledge about who you are as a person and going ahead with full confidence in the direction that you want to pursue. And Sun, at this point in time at 21 degree Virgo, will be sitting at a star called Denebola. Denebola is an unconventional star, which means that this creative venture will be out of step from mainstream. You're doing something which is not what the people around you are doing. You're doing something unique, and it is your destiny to do something unique. It is your destiny to create something out of step from what other people are doing. And this shows up very clearly in the second half of the month, that is what your heart's desire is. It could even be that the romance or the child that you have is different from others. They have something unique about themselves. What you love has something unique about itself. And that becomes your pursuit. That becomes what you sort of bring to reality in the second half of the month. Saturn, as I mentioned, will go direct around 18th of September. It's going direct at the degree that we had the eclipse in January. So this is a result, manifestation of what we have worked on or we have wanted to manifest since the start of this year, coming through starting from 18th of September all the way till 25th of December or 26th of December. And this will influence people especially born between, I would say, 6th of November to 12th or 13th of November from now till December. So if you have planets between 14 degree of Scorpio all the way till 21 degree of Scorpio, you'll feel it very strongly from now all the way from 18th of December, or even from the start of the month around, I would say not just 18th of September, but from 6th of September, you'll feel it all the way till 26th of December. And then on 21st of December, we have Jupiter and Neptune square that I spoke about. Jupiter and Neptune square, I'll just warn you a little bit because there's so much water energy in the second half of the month, which is good for you as a water sign because your intuition goes along with you. Elements support you further in the second half of the month. But from a world events perspective, this breeds more storms. First half of the month is more forceful storms. Second half of the month is more water storms and a little bit of emotional storms as well. So Jupiter Neptune square always comes with, unfortunately, natural disasters, which we are already seeing, and we unfortunately might see more towards the second half of the month, which are related to water. So you want to be careful of water damage to the things that you have in your life, water damage in your house or overall in the physical, especially if you stay close to water. And then on 28th of September, we have Saturn and South Node together in your house of thinking. We are releasing the shackles of our mind here and stepping into a new reality. In the next month, in October, we will have a full moon in your house of career, in your house of work, which will come as a result of the things, the decisions that you have taken in this month. So good luck for that, Scorpio. I'll see you in the next video now.